Doge is destroying the big club. Oh, it ain't over. The fight ain't over. And the big club, the watchdog on Wall Street, axis of evil, is going to push back. They have gained access to the payment system, doling out trillions to everyone all over the globe. The big club, I know I've mentioned this before here on the show. This is George Carlin, for crying out loud. He's one of the greatest rants of all time. I've used it before. And George Carlin is one of the last rants that he went on before he died. And quite frankly, this is better than most presidential speeches, for crying out loud. Talks about, well, there's a reason. He starts out with there's a reason why education sucks in the United States. The same reason that will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got, because the owners of this country don't want that. Talking about the real owners. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. Again, my opinion, they work hand in hand. Politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations they've long since bought and paid for. The Senate, Congress, State House, City Halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. Until now. Until now. I wish Carlin was seeing what was taking place today. Again, watch the rant, okay? Talks about the big club that you and I ain't in. Well, Doge is destroying it. I was working out early this morning and listening to some of the early iteration of CNBC, 5 a.m., and their reporters having a collective freak out. All these unfounded allegations that Elon Musk is coming up with. There's no proof to this stuff. I'm watching this guy lie. They have the freaking receipts, man. They have the receipts. So all basically the media has left at this point in time is just to lie. Just to lie to the American people, because it works. It usually works. You might as well go back to your formula. And again, can you blame them? Okay, can you blame them? Let's be honest here. We as a nation flunked our IQ test with COVID. Oh, man, did we flunk that? Social distancing. Shut down all the stores, but then send everybody to a big box store. Social distancing while you're online waiting for the airport, but then you got on a plane and you're sitting next to somebody. Oh, no, when you're sitting down at a restaurant, you can take your mask off. But if you got to get up and walk to the bathroom, you got to put it on. Do you understand how stupid everything was? And to this day, you'll have people say, oh, it was the right thing to do. So the fight ain't over, okay? The fight ain't over because, for the most part, people are pretty freaking dumb. I don't mean to be harsh, but it's true. Okay, we don't have a lot of deep thinkers. That's part of George Carlin's rant. Go watch it. They don't teach kids to be critical thinkers. Anyway, I started going through this weekend. I spent way too much time. I did. I spent way too much time following what Doge was doing over the course of the weekend. And I gotta be honest, it's not healthy. And I said to myself, I said, I gotta put this down. I could have done a podcast today for a couple hours just going through the myriad of things that they have uncovered. These are stories to me that are jaw dropping. They have the receipts. They have the proof. This should be the front of every publication out there, but it's not. It's not because, again, they are a part of the big club. They know that this is going to destroy them too. I feeling like I've thought about it. It's the beginning of Godfather 1. Brilliant. It's just, and again, how it was filmed too, with the camera on Bonacera, pulls back and then gets the shoulder of Don Corleone, and he's talking about how his daughter was attacked, and he's sitting in a courtroom like a fool. The judge gave them what? I forget what it was. Gave them 2 years, but suspend the sentence. Suspend the sentence. And he said, I sat in that courtroom like a fool. We've been sitting watching these people. They just smile at us. They smile at us, and they lie, and they steal, and the grift. It's horrid, quite frankly. Just some of the things this past weekend. This USAID funding Nina Jankowicz's internet censorship project in London. Do you remember Nina? She was that whack job that Biden hired to censor news here. It was like, again, it was out of Orwell. Remember she sang that song, that supercalifragilistic song? And people were like, what the hell is this? Yeah. We're paying for this. Okay? We are paying for this. How about all of the civil service workers out there that were claiming to be working for the government, but at the same time had another full-time job? Oh, yeah, they got the receipts. They got the W-2s. They're coming after you, and they should. You should pay back the taxpayers all of the money you got while you were not even double dipping. You just weren't working. You were collecting a paycheck from the federal government and then had a different job. How about this one? Yeah, sending cats to spas produced less fur balls, and also a study putting shrimp on treadmills. This is taxpayer-funded stuff. Zelensky, how about this one? How is this not the front of every newspaper here in the country? Everyone! This people should be flipping out. Zelensky said that he's only received $75 billion of the $177 billion that was sent from the United States. And I quote, I don't know where all the money is. We never received it. American taxpayer money has been funding irrigation canals, farming equipment, and fertilizer used to what? Support the unprecedented poppy cultivation and heroin production in Afghanistan. USAID is funding an organization with 7 CIA directors on its board to train hundreds of people in censorship training seminars on how to flag Donald Trump's tweets. Fauci's NIAID and USAID sent $40 million. Wait for this. Again, receipts. $40 million and taxpayer support to a scientist in Wuhan who was working on bat coronavirus emergence, who also just so happened to become patient 0 for COVID-19. And the media's saying, there's nothing there. Nothing to see here. Move on, everybody. Just keep going. Yeah, Musk found out that Treasury has been auto-paying everyone, even known terrorist groups. Yeah, they just auto-pay. They didn't even check to see where the money is going. Think about this. We have people, we got people in prisons here for selling drugs, involved that where our own government's been involved directly with the cultivation of drugs, as we like to just put out here. How do you misplace $100 billion that was supposed to be sent to the Ukraine? I write these massive checks like you do to the U.S. government every single year, paying my taxes and watching this money being wasted. Again, I don't know where you're at, America, at this point in time. Again, how are you leftists even behind this? Can't you see how crooked this is? And you listen to all the freaking talking heads, the fools out there, and how they go about the Bill Crystals of the world. They get their little few million here, few million there for some bullshit organization. It's a grift. They're stealing taxpayer money. And let me tell you how I think Trump should handle this. I think Trump, quite frankly, should give everybody an option at this point in time. I would come out and say that this is basically theft. You're deceiving people, and we're going after you all. We're going after you all. We're going to look to add prosecutors, not IRS agents, and we're going after you all. So, just tell them, say, listen, so I strongly suggest you grab your passport. Tell them, I said, listen, I strongly suggest you grab your passport and move to Bolivia. Move to some country that doesn't have an extradition treaty. We're coming after you. At some point in time, you gotta Michael Corleone this thing. Bazzini's dead. Philip Tattaglia, Mo Green, Strachey, Cuneo. Settle all family business. This has to end at some point in time. This is it. Okay, I've been railing against this for a very long time here on the program, and it's gotten worse instead of better in this country. And again, this is not a Democrat thing, okay? This is a both parties. This is a quote unquote deep state, big club, watchdog on Wall Street thing. Again, it's hard. It's hard to kind of be somewhat stoic in the face of all of this because the corruption it's so bad. It's so awful. These people are, again, they're vile. They don't build anything. They don't create anything. They don't do anything. They just steal from taxpayers. I wish DOGE and I wish what to do all of the best, because again, they're freaking out. They're putting out tweets, all sorts of stuff. I didn't vote for Elon Musk. Yeah, I you know what? I didn't vote for the CIA. I didn't vote for the FBI. I didn't vote for USA. I didn't vote for a lot of stuff. This should be applauded on both sides. If you are true to doing the right thing by your constituents and taxpayers, this should be applauded. This should be a massive cleaning house. Again, this is it. I'm saying it again. This is it. They either get it right. We get it right this time as a country. No coming back after this. No coming back. If they don't follow through, if we don't push forward with this, we don't get the word out. Man, it's going to continue down that downward slope we've been heading as a country for a very long period of time. WatchDog on WallStreet.com.